Well, it's about that time again, where we are live for the TCR PRL series. You can hear the cars in the background already, and I am hyped up for today. Today we have a very special track in my heart. It's a track that I very much like, and a track that I very much appreciate, and I think the drivers do the same. I introduce everyone to today's track, and it is gonna be, as we see on the calendar, Laguna Seca. Yeah, this track makes up a lot of what we've seen so far, a lot of undulation in all the other tracks. It's a track that I really love, and yeah, it is a track that wow, it's one of our favorites. The corkscrew, it has absolutely everything. It has no runoff, and it's a classic track. And yeah, I hope you guys are just as excited as I am to view today's action. Well, one thing of today's action then is what I want to talk about really quickly. Season 2, we've announced it in our last stream. It has been very successful, this series, and PRL has decided to do another season of this with bigger tracks, the same grid, but just bigger overall tracks that are a little bit more suited to racing. And yeah, sadly the series won't be free anymore. The tracks won't be free, that you only have to buy the car, but all the drivers that are in it now have the car. They at least have some of the tracks, and yeah, I mean, it's gonna be exciting. Another season of this, and I'm already looking forward to this. But first, we have to view this out on a track. I hope this works now. It should pop up in a second. There it is. Yeah, Laguna Seca, everyone. What a track this is. No runoff, zero runoff everywhere. Well, let's look on to the action then. Just looking on board with Gus Brinkhuizen, Vincent Ossems, currently in second in practice as well. Josh Files sets a lap time of 1:29.96 at the moment, so well, we will look at the track again. Excuse me, this is the one I wanted to talk about. Yeah, Vincent currently in the lead of the championship, and with that said, I think we can look on to the championship. This should be the one we have to look at. This is the right one. Yes, here we are then. We'll look on it in the full screen. Well, everyone, it's PCS2, the teams first in, they are in first position. Platinum Racing Team following them very closely behind in second place. 149 points only between them. P3 is Gazax Racing Team, 133 points. Only 5 points ahead of PRT Trackside. 99 points of that team made up by their star driver Vincent Ossems. 29 points for Perry Oosterveer. He really lacking a little bit last time out. He was a little bit ill during the race, but yeah, still picked up some good points for the team. And he is now gonna try and do that again together with Vincent Ossems. PCS1 is in 5th. They currently have 107 points. They were, I think they gained 9 or 10 points in the last event. Only one driver for PCS1 that time out. Their sister team PCS2 doing better than their brother team. So yeah, Kazak's TCR team in 8th, just behind Lithium Motorsports. There are 14 points in between that, and then 3 points to Kart Academy Esports 2 in 6th. Trio Race Esports with a little bit of a bigger gap to Gazax. They are in 9th. 10th is Gazax Racing Academy on the same amount of points as Trio Race Esports. That team is brought up by a lonely man. Currently the only driver racing for that, I think, is, let me have a look at it, is where can we see him? I think it's Frederik is the only one. Then we have Team Kerstens in 11th place, 34 points. 33 points, just 1 point behind that is Kart Academy Esports 1. Both Team Kart Academy Esports teams not doing so well. The other team is down on 15th with 3 points. 13 points for Team Platinum Racing Academy. The only driver in that is, I think, where can we see him? Is he out here today? No, it doesn't look like he is he? No, he isn't. But the only driver racing for that team is Colin van de Pest. He's the only one driving for that team. And then PA Racing picked up their first points last time out in the hands of this man, Sven Merckx. He's currently in the pit lane, but he picked up the first points for that team last time out. Well, going to then to this one, we have the drivers here for you, it looks like. Well, we have some technical difficulties, it looks like. Give us a second, everyone. Looks like that is the correct one, isn't it? That was the correct one. This then. No, it isn't showing on stream. I don't know what these technical difficulties are. Yes, there it is. There it is. Vincent Osams currently is in the lead with 99 points, 88 points. Only 11 points behind that, as we finally have it on screen, is Martin Hobson, Mr. Eckel. Behind that for Platinum Racing Team 1 as well with 84 points, only 4 points in that as well. Frederick Schwartz is in 4th place. He currently sits on 78 points. Then we have Frank Schlottmann in 5th, 65 points, 54 points. Just behind that, a man who is normally really competitive in these cars is Niels Langeveld. He is out there today again. He's in 18th, currently out on the track. 17th, Milo Speelman then for Lithium Motorsports. Fabian Tobben is in 8th with 52 points, the same as Milo Speelman. Jürgen Augusto is in 9th, 10th is Ricardo Ronkema, also on the same points as Jürgen Augusto. Josh Files in 11th, 47 points. 45 points is Jake Browning. 13th after a good result last time out, but can't be here this week as well because he is at Daytona racing in the Daytona 24 hours in real life. Is Mirko Bortolotti. He is on 44 points. He's not really able to, I think, clinch this championship at the moment. Vincent Assen's really looking to put him on the back foot now, with only 2 races to go after this one. Andy Kuhn is in 14th, 42 points, only 2 points behind Mirko. Then we have Marnix Heister on 39 points together with Stefano Pellegrino. Gus Brinkhuizen is currently in 17th on 38 points, 3 points behind that is Clemon Schmidt. 19th place is Benjamin A. Walker. He has 34 points, 1 point behind Clemon Schmidt. Oscar Fredriksson in his first race out last time in these TCRs, 30 points, 29 points. Just behind that is Pascal Ebena in 22nd place. 23rd is Richard Beukema. He is on 27 points. Hugo Iksen, he is banned from iRacing for being naughty in the voice chat, so he won't compete in this championship anymore. Hugo Iksen is in 24th place with 26 points. His second race last time out as well. 22 points for Niels Koster. He is in 25th with that result. Nick Kerstens is in 26th at the moment. 27th is Colin van der Pest, and then 28th is Dani Vugel. Then we look on a little bit further. Pepe Kerstens has 15 points in this championship already. Good points for him already here. Looking to do one better in Laguna Seca. 9th, as you see in the background, that the qualifying has started. On 9 points, picking up the first points for that team is Sven Merckx. They were very happy at PA Racing with him picking up the first points. Gustavo Xavier in 31st with 7 points. 32nd is Jensen De Leeuw. 33rd is Yusso Ketun at 34th, Andrew Seymour 35th, Michael Fitzpatrick 36th, Tig Smedley, and 37th is Ben Green. Hasn't picked up a point yet. Well, let's look on further on to the grid then. I don't know what this might be, but Here we go. That is it. Well, looking out for qualifying then, Marnix Heister. We're staying on board with Fabian Tobener. He is in the Hyundai. Currently he is letting everyone by. Winston Eckel is just behind him in the Honda. He is in third position like we saw in the championship at the moment. And what can we be looking forward to in this race? Well, we know Laguna Seca is a track where a lot of drivers at least have some experience on. Some drivers at least can have or know how this track goes. They know where to go on this track. It's just finding your balance with these cars, and that is what is difficult. Really, if you're someone that is new to iRacing as well, these cars aren't. Sorry for the voice crack. These cars are not easy to drive as well. Front wheel driven, of course. Winston Eckel there going off throttle because he has fucked his qualifying lap already. Not a good performance for him there. Well, that is already done for him, and Nick Kerstens is currently on the qualifying lap as well. He now coming up to this beautiful left-hand corner. Well, this corner, we know it's very difficult. You have a little bit, the track has camber in it, but only on the inside. So the rest is like, it goes flat. The inside has some cover in it. So you really want to you want to dip your left front wheel on the inside there. Well, then finishing his lap almost is Martin Hobson. We currently don't have a time to refer to. Well, we now have Vincent goes to the top with a 1:30.85. Because Brinkhuis is now behind that. Martin Hobson, what does he set? Not really looking competitive with that lap time, to be honest. He hasn't set a lap time because he had an off track in that lap. Well, I'll not bother you with my face for the rest of this qualifying and race. We'll look on to the full screen action, and now Martin Hobson, he will try and do that again. Steve Fitters, where is he currently sitting? He is here, 3 purple sectors. Is he gonna be able to finish this one with 4? Yes, he is, and that is a purple lap for him. But doesn't go to the top. That is really confusing to me, to be quite honest. He is 5th at the moment. It looks like this is his first race out here at the TCR Series. So for him, it's really getting up to grips with the car and everything around it. We have Vincent Ossens currently on pole position. He is going to come through again to maybe better his lap time. The answer is yes, he does, by 2.5 tenths. 30.65 is currently the time to beat Jake. We know that someone can beat that, and that man is Josh Files. He had the fastest lap time with a 29.8 in the practice session. Andy Kuhn currently goes to 5th with a 1:31.4. Doing better than that is Winston Eckel. He currently up to 5th with a 1:31.29. 1:31.25 is ahead of him currently, Jake Browning. But looking what he can do. Steve Futters again has 2 purple sectors. Let's look what he can do again then. Steve Futters comes across the line. The answer is, can he do one better? No, he can't. He does improve though, but he can't do one better at the moment. Josh Falstaff will stay on board with him. Currently he is on a lap that is 2 times green, one time yellow. That corkscrew is looking absolutely amazing in these cars, you have to say. Only 2 corners to go, only 1 to go for Josh Files. The sharp left-hander is the last corner here. Well, let's look if he comes across the line, what his time is gonna be. It is gonna be a 30.5. And like we said, this is the man who we really can expect something from. 29.8 was his time in the practice session. Not really able to do that again here, but definitely looking to do great again. He currently has to improve. Fabian Tobe now goes to the top. Like we said, he is fast. He's very, very fast. Vincent Assams, where is he currently? He's going to come down through the corkscrew in just a minute. Here he is letting people by. He's not on a fast lap. Niels Langeveld, and he is in 7th currently. I feel like this is a track where he is really going to shine through. He's really going to come through victorious at this track, because him knowing this car in real life, he knows what the car does. He knows what to expect from the car, and that is why I think he can be fast around here. Well then, with over halfway in qualifying, it is shaping up to be a very, very competitive one. Niels Langeveld, he is currently not on a improvement, it looks like. Catching up to Perry Oosterveer ahead of him. What is he going to be able to do then? Niels Langeveld is on an improvement in the last 2 sectors. He then comes across the line at 30.7 is his lap time. That is going to put him up into 6th, but that could have maybe been more if he didn't have Perry Oosterveer ahead of him, but Perry also on a fast lap now. Milo Speelman up into 4th. He is looking to improve again. Ricardo Romkema also improving. His lap time is going to be a 30.7 as well. That jumps him up into 4th as Milo Speelman goes into the pits. Winston Eckel not having the best qualifying again. He is currently down in 9th position. We expect more from him. Down through the corkscrew now, then Josh Files is again on an improvement. We see him here, only 2 corners to go. Oh, and he fluffs his lines there. That is not what you want to see. He has backed out of that lap. Let's go back to Winston Eckel then for a second. He came down through the corkscrew, already done with the corkscrew. He is currently looking like he is a man to look out for already. 2 corners, 1 quarter to go now for Winston Eckel. And what can he do? It looks like he's not really improving this lap. Only yellow sectors for this man. Coming through, yes, only yellow sectors. Marnix Heiser is also someone who we expect to do better than 19th. Sven Merckx improving just behind him as well. He comes through. He's putting a lap time of 1:32.1. Sven Merckx comes through lap time of 1:31.6. That jumps him up into 18th, ahead of Marnix at least, but not really what he was looking for. Well then, Nick Houstons, oh, he is also off again. Pepe hasn't set a lap time yet. Is he going to do so now then? Not really looking like it. Pepe Kerstens now. That was an outlap now. His first lap. We'll look on with him. Absolutely giving it everything into the first corner. A little bit too late there. And that is not what you want to see. Benjamin A. Walker looking to do again great like he did last time out as well. Fabian Toben is also someone to look out for. He currently is in first, and he is improving again. Through the last corner he comes. Previous lap time 1:30.5. This lap time 1:30.569. That is 3 thousandths of a second slower than his fastest lap time. That is amazing to see. That is very, very good consistency. Morningsizer now improving as well. His lap time is going to be 1:31.4, quicker than Sven Merckx jump. He's jumping up with that lap time to P13. That is a very, very good lap time from him. Jake Smedley then, where is he currently? He currently sits down in 25th. Looking to improve again. That is a improvement definitely for him, it looks like. No, it isn't. 36.1. Not a improvement at all. Vincent Ossems, he is still looking to do good again. Not an improvement again, but he's now going to try and improve this time around. As we have some changes at the top of the standings. Josh Files currently goes up into first. He has set a lap time of 1:30.421 while we were looking on board with Vincent Ossems. Vincent currently not on improvement in both of the sectors. Looks like he's gonna be a mile off again in these sectors. Niels Koster did improve though, didn't he? No, he did not. He did not improve that, but it was a good lap time from him. Only a few hundredths off of his fastest lap time. And we have Vincent Ossems, who's currently 2.5 tenths off of pole position. And he's gonna have to do a little bit better than this if he wants to stay ahead in the championship. Josh Files is really the one we are looking out for in this race. Looks like he's gonna have one more shot at it. Morningsizer, where is he at the moment? He is currently, I think, going through. Yes, that is the corner up to the corkscrew. Is it? Yes, this is the corner up to the corkscrew. I was right, yes. Well, these cars, look at them coming through down the corkscrew. You see them go down the corkscrew. Amazing. They drop down here. Really, really steep in real life as well. It really doesn't do justice in all the racing games, that corner. Then the left-hander afterwards. With these cars front-wheel driven, you normally have some understeer on these cars already, but then that corner really gives you a little bit more of understeer while you already have some, because it's downhill and a very sharp off-camber left-hander. Well, then Morningsizer, is he going to improve? 1:31.4 is his lap time, and that is not a improvement. The second off of pole position, that is Mito Spelman, and he's in fifth. Can he improve? It does look like he isn't improving. Pepper Kerstens was improving though, but he doesn't set a lap time. Well, looking on to the grid then for the upcoming race. The first race we have on pole position Josh Files with a lap time of 1:30.421, slower than his lap time in the practice session by I think 6/10. So there was a lot more in the tank for him there, but he didn't really have to push it that far. So that's good for him. Fabian Tobin alongside him in second. Vincent Ossems is in third. Good position for him in the qualifying as well, keeping his championship's hope up. Ricardo Ronkema in fourth. Fifth, Milos Speelman. Sixth, Martin Hobson. 7th, Winston Eckel. Niels Langeveld is in 8th. Jake Browning is in 9th. 10th is Frederick Schwartz. Andy Kuhn is in 11th, and then Steve Futters is in 12th position. We look further on to the grid. Marnix Heisers in 13th, 14th, Richard Breukema 15th, Benjamin A. Walker 16th, Cas Brinkhuizen 17th, Niels Kosters 18th, Pascal Ebeda 19th, Sven Merckx 20th, Perry Oosterveer. Nick Kerstens is in 21st, 22nd, Danny Vogel 22nd, Yusuke Tude 23rd, Michael Fitzpatrick. Looking a little bit further on then, Jake Smedley in 23rd, or in 25th, 26th is Pepper Cash on the last row of the grid. Well, looking on to the start then, as we are really looking forward to gridding now. Gridding seems to be done in just a minute. And well, what a race we have to watch then. It's Josh Files. He has a clear track ahead of him, but he really has to get a good start. The 5 red lights are green. Now on, and they are out for the 4th race, the 4th evening of this, and he covers off Vincent, putting him up to the pit wall. And that was never gonna work there for Vincent on that side. Well, he is up into 2nd already. A good start for Vincent this time round. We have seen that gone wrong a few times. More Jake Browning. That is a little bit of a touch there with, I think, Niels Langeveld, that is on the inside there. He is on the outside of Ricardo Romkema. Is he going to stay there? Oh, that gravel is going to drag him out wide. And he's going to have to slot in behind Ricardo Romkema, losing a position there. Ricardo loses 4 positions in that. In doing so, at the head of the field is still Josh Files, ahead of Vincent Ossems. Fabian Toben is in 3rd, right behind them, and Winston Eckel with a very good start again, from 7th up into 4th, but now falling down into 5th. The corkscrew gives up the position. Really difficult to go side by side through the corkscrew, not really advised to do so. Frederick Schwartz takes that position. Milos Spillman then in 6th, 7th is Jake Browning, 8th is Ricardo Romkema, and 9th is Niels Langeveld. Perry Oosterveer gained 10 positions in the opening lap, and that is an opening lap to remember for him. He had a purple first sector, that tells everything. Coming off to finish this first lap, the field looks still the same as I said just a few seconds ago. Perry Oosterveer now ahead of Martin Hobson. Ricardo Romkema fighting with Niels Langeveld. Niels Langeveld getting through there up into 8th. He goes now gaining that position back where he started. Chasing down now ahead of him Jake Browning, who is absolutely all over Milos Spillman now in this 37 PCS sponsored Hyundai. Looking around the outside now of Milon. That was never going to work. So he's going to push him out wide, but then the cutback. You really want to have the inside here, but this is not going to go really side by side through, and he thinks that as well. Slots in behind, really trying to get a better run up to the corkscrew, but going out wide, and that is not really the run he wanted to have. Spillman a little bit of breathing room going into the corkscrew he has now. These cars going through the corkscrew now is a really good sight to see. It doesn't look steep from this camera angle, but trust me, it really, really, really is. Winston Eckel then on the back of Frederick Schwartz. He let him through, it looked like, going into the corkscrew, but that didn't really work for him, as it looks like now. He's just slotting behind him, and he's really held up by him, it looks like now. Vincent Ossems challenging for the lead then into the first corner. Absolutely all over Josh Files. Josh Files setting the fastest lap time, but only 300s faster than Vincent behind him. 4/10 that gap is. They're really looking to build that gap to Fabian Tobin. Behind that, Fabian Tobin is Vincent, his championship rival, so it's really looking good for him now. But look further on into the field, it looks like we have some interesting battles going on, because Brinkhuizen is pushing almost Benjamin A. Walker through that corner. Just ahead of that, we see Perry Osterveer in 11th. He gained 10 positions from 20th up into 10th. This start, a really good start for him for PRT trackside. Because Brinkhuizen for fighting for 12th place. He's gained 3 positions as well. And now he gets a better run out of the corkscrew. Down the inside, you really want to have the inside. He's going to push very narrow. Yes, he is, but he really thinks the better of it and tries to get out of that as quickly as possible. Martin Hobson then got past Niels Langeveld, and Niels Langeveld has some problems. Look like he has gone off. Let's look what happened to him then. Oh, he had an off. That's not really what you want to see there. But he managed to recover it. Like he had a snap on the left-hander there. Oh, then Josh Files is currently still in first. Behind him still is Vincent Osses, but dropping back now a little bit into the hands of Fabian Tobin. As we are already 5 minutes into this race, those 5 minutes have flown by. They absolutely flew by. It's Josh Files just eking out that lead slightly, just building that lead little by little. And Vincent is really falling back into the hands of Fabian Tobin, his championship rival. Got past him on the start, of course, but he is not really able to stick on to the back of that Hyundai of Josh Files. As we have now, as you can see, the most successful driver in this opening lap looks to be, at the moment, it looks to be Juuso Ketune with 14 now gained 9 places, and 9 places gained as well for Perry Osterveer. He is now trying to chase down Niels Langeveld ahead of him. Looks like that is not gonna happen. Niels Langeveld just a little bit faster than him. Overall, Niels Langeveld after that snap is down in 10th. He really looks, he's a very steady top 6 driver in this championship, but really he has to just get a little bit more consistent in the heat races. The feature is he is one of the best drivers to come through the field, of course, with his real life racing experience that plays into his hands, of course. Uno Spillman in 7th then. He had a terrible start as well up until this point. Lost 2 positions. Not really the lap he wanted to at the beginning there. Jake Browning gained 3rd positions as well now. But gaining 6 positions, and one of the biggest gainers in the top 10 is Frederick Schwartz. He started 10th, is now 4th, and holding on to that 4th position just ahead of Winston Eckel. Fabian Tobin is just ahead of him, but they are driving clear. Fabian Tobin are right behind Vincent Ossems. These two are 1st and 2nd in the championship. I can take the championship for you as well really quickly. I think this is the correct one. Here we see the championship, of course. Back up to 1st we go. Martin Hobson, who is now right behind Vincent Ossems. So it really is shaping up to be a great fight, this, but he first has to try and get past Vincent Ossems. Suddenly found some pace again in. Oh, it's Mars. Fabian Doven makes a mistake there. Just going a little bit wide. That was not really what he was looking for. But Vincent Ossems now really having some breathing room, almost cutting the corkscrew there. Is Fabian Doven. You don't want to do that too much because you're going to drop down then. You're going to lose grip to the track and you're suddenly going to come down with your front axle onto the track again, and that can be a very hard hit for the car. Niels Langeveld still down in 10th at the moment, 1.6 seconds behind Martin or the other Hobson. Yeah, Martin Hobson is currently down in 9th. Did I forget? Yes, Martin Hobson is down in 9th. Fabian Tobin is not the one in 2nd position. Excuse me for that. That is a big mistake I made there. But we noticed it on time. Martin Hobson in 9th. It's really the chance for Vincent Ossems to get one better. A fastest 3rd sector this time, or last time round, for Vincent Ossems. His last lap time was 2/10 faster than the man ahead of him, Josh Files. He has suddenly found some pace again. Or Josh Files has lost some pace. He's trying to save the tires maybe. That is also a factor coming into play here at Laguna Seca. Of course, this track laying in America, it's the drought here is very, very intense. It's almost in a desert, this track. Doesn't rain here often, and it also is very hot here very, very often. So with that, the tires go off a little bit faster than normally, and with this being asphalt, or at least tire mag that has been here for a long, long while now, hasn't been resurfaced for quite some time. That is one of the reasons that it just wears the tires so quickly. But Ricardo Roncomat now trying to attack Winston Eckel for 6th place. This is then. This is the battle for 5th at the moment. Winston Eckel falling back a little bit for Winston Eckel just trying to manage to keep Ricardo Roncomat ahead or behind him. It's really, really difficult for him to do that, but we know how well he can defend. Ahead of him is Frederik Schwartz, who has still gained 5 positions. He has been able to hold on to that 5th position for quite a long time now, and he is going to try and do that again. Oh, as we have Vincent there getting back on track, defending there in the corkscrew. Oh, that was a late move from Ricardo Roncomat, trying to offset Winston Eckel. Not really happening, offsetting himself. Winston Eckel getting a good run, and now on the back of Frederik Schwartz again. Can he attack now? Maybe into the last corner, getting a good run all over the back, almost pushing him through that right-hander. Down the inside of the last corner, Winston goes now, pushing him wide here, and that is 5th position done for him. Now he's really going to try and break away now, but Frederik Schwartz can also gain that position on Ricardo Roncomat as well. Up the inside he goes now. Oh, Frederik Schwartz defending from Niels Speelman again, losing 2 positions, but almost 3 in the span of 2 corners now, but getting around the outside again now is Frederik Schwartz. He has to just keep it off there. He was almost pushing Ricardo Roncomat through that right-hander there, but he has lost some positions there. Well, Winston Eckel now finally free to breathe, and he can now chase down Jake Browning just up the road for him. 2.5 seconds between that, but Frederik Schwartz, it's still very, very close between him now. The left-hander up to the corkscrew. What is this going to give Milos Speelman as we go on to the nose scan now here? You're going to see how steep this drop down will be. Frederik Schwartz ahead of him. Oh, just able to keep that on the road. This is so close. Oh, and he has a little bit of a touch there. I think from the inside there from Milos Speelman. We heard that and we didn't. Yeah, we saw him have that snap there. Martin Hobson now trying to get up the inside of Milos Speelman. He has to keep his championship hope alive. He is really thinking about a marathon, not this sprint. Behind that now is Niels Langeveld. He is in the battle as well now. Trying to go up the inside of Milos Speelman as well. From attacking, he's going to have to go to defending now. Up the inside goes Niels Langeveld, almost pushing his way through. This is a really cool battle for 9th position here. Now around the outside is up the inside is Milos Speelman again. Niels Langeveld now up the inside, almost good. Are they going to make it 3 wide into this right-hander? No, they are not. But Niels Langeveld up into 9th. He is now. Milos Speelman lost some positions there. And that is really, yeah, this is TCR racing. This is really what TCR racing is about. You can just punt someone off. Really slightly, but not on purpose, of course. But you can take a hit in these cars. Niels Langeveld taking full advantage of that. And who's that? Freddie Schwartz getting all out of shape there. And now into the corkscrew. He is vulnerable. Side by side to the corkscrew. What is it going to give? Martin Hobson bails out of that. That is going to give Niels Langeveld a run. And he is now going to try and go up the inside here. No, he thinks the better of it. But Frederick Schwartz had a little bit of a moment there. Here we see that again. Coming up here. Oh, he just goes off. Manages to keep it, but doesn't want to lose too much momentum. And he keeps in the gravel for a little bit too long there. Going back to live pictures now. It looks like Niels Langeveld has dropped back. But overtook Milos Speelman. Now he can really push on up into 8th now. Getting back into his starting position. But going a little bit wide in the first corner. Braking a little bit too late. Overshooting his braking marker. But he has that covered. In the back there, Martin Hobson defending from Perry Oosterveer. Perry Oosterveer in 11th position. This is really one of the better races for him. Normally we don't see him up in these positions as well. As we do have one retirement or a few retirements. But one retirement in the top 20 is Sven Merckx. Not really looking good for him. He is currently out on track racing again, but he really hasn't had the best race lately. Well then, Josh Files is still in a comfortable lead. Vincent Ossams is just behind that, 2.5 seconds. And just behind that is Fabian Tobin as well. But Vincent Ossams here is really eking out that lead in the championship. And with 2 rounds to go after this one, this could be a decisive round. Because with Martin Hobson down in 10th positions, or in 10th position, this is really a race where Martin is going to have to do some damage control, because he doesn't really seem to have the pace. Vincent Ossams might have a race of the 2 tracks we are going to where he just doesn't have the pace, but it really is difficult to say this early on in the championship. Josh Files, will give him some credit as well, because well, he has been on it for quite some time. He has been really consistent, really putting in those faster lap times, and he is currently 2.5 seconds clear of the 2 behind him. Well then, a little bit further back in the field, Justin Kituna losing positions now after his good start. Danny Fugel getting through there, and that was a really naughty action there from Yusuke Kituna. That is definitely not what you want to see, and that is not, and I think he's going to be penalized for that. We'll look at that again. Here we go. Into the braking zone we go. Danny Fugel tried to pass him. He passed him into T1. Tried to get the cutback down and over the curb. Yeah, not really he could do there again. We'll look at it again on board now with Yusuke Kituna then. Yeah, really over that curb he lost the car. Going back to live pictures then, Yusuke Tsunoda is in 15th. Is he gonna let Danny Vogel by again? It looks like it. He's waiting on him, and he's waiting for him as well. Some really good sportsmanship here, and I think that solves itself then if he's gonna let him by. Yes, he is. Great sportsmanship here from Yusuke Tsunoda. That is great to see. And great to see some drivers at least have sportsmanship in this as well. Well done. Josh Files. It's going to be tight for him. Maybe the last lap this is, but I don't think so. With half a minute left, he has enough time to run to the finish again. Vincent Ossens behind that, meanwhile, under pressure from Fabian Tobin. With one more lap to go after this one then. It looks like, yes, we are going to have another lap. 15 seconds left. Vincent Ossens is under pressure going into the last lap now. This is for second position. This could be big for the championship later on, maybe as well. 3 tenths between them now. Vincent Ossens is going to have to play this smart. So meanwhile, Niels Langeveld gained another position on Frederick Schwartz. It looks like no, he doesn't. Milos Spillman trying to get past Niels Langeveld. That was what I got in my ear. Well, Vincent Ossens then was under pressure, making a mistake here, and that is going to give Fabian Tobin a chance. He's going to look up the inside. No, he is not. Vincent Ossens is really, he's a smart driver. He knows what to do and when to compete, of course. Fabian Tobin. Third wouldn't be a bad result for him on this day as well. PRT trackside will be very happy with the result from Vincent Ossens as well. Well, it looks like Josh Files is gonna come through victorious here. 2 more corners to go for him on this last lap. And coming through the last corner successfully, hopefully, is Josh Files for Gazak's TCR team. And he now has a run to the finish. Josh Files comes across the line to take victory in the first heat race. Then it's Vincent Ossens ahead of Fabian Tobin. And we have a battle a little bit further back. Milos Speelman in 9th, just behind Niels Langeveld. Niels Langeveld also just behind Frederick Schwartz. Is he going to be able to do it to the line? No, he is not. Barry Oosterwey just behind Martin Hobson as well. Would have done Vincent, would have helped Vincent with taking that position away from him there, but not really happening. Yusuke Tsunoda now on the last lap. Danny Vogel just ahead of him. Can I do it into this corner then? Not really. And it looks like that position is settled as well now. Up the inside, the late launch then. Not really getting close enough into the braking zone. Yusuke Tsunoda. That is going to settle that position as well. Well, Sven Merckx then. He has finished the race as well. Jake Smedley is the last one to come through in 18th position, picking up points again for him as well. Well then. Let's look on to the result then for the last race out, the heat race. Well, Josh Files is our winner for the Gazak's TCR team. Then we have Vincent Ossens in second, Fabian Tobin in third. Good result for them both as well. 5th is Jake Browning. 6th, Winston Eckel. After a miserable start for him, able to keep up on 5th position. Then we have Ricardo Romkema in 6th. 7th is Frederick Schwartz. 8th is Milo Speelman. And 9th, Martin Hobson losing out in the championship. Really a lot, I think, today. Not really what he was looking for this evening. Well then. I hope, yeah, yes, it still works. Wow, so SDK or our streaming software is having some problems today, it looks like. But what can we say about it? Freddy Schwartz at 7, Milos Spillman 8, 9 Martin Hobson. 10th is Perry Oosterveer here. Where is Niels Langeveld in all of this? Niels Langeveld dropped down to 14th. What has happened to him there? That is not what you want to see, going out for this so quickly. It looks like he had some kind of penalty there in at the end of that finish. 15 Danny Vogel, Yusuke Tunen 16th after that crash there. Michael Fitzpatrick 17th, 18th. Jake Smedley 19th will be, as we look further on into the results. 19th, Pepe Kerstens. 20th, Sven Merks. Niels Kosters is 21st. 22nd, Niels or Marnix Heister. Steve Fitters is 23rd. 24th, Nick Kerstens. 25th, Andy Kuhn. And 26th, Richard Beukema. As we look on, can we look a little bit further? No, that is all for the result. The grid then is Danny Vogel in first, Niels Langeveld in second, Pascal Ebena third, fourth Gus Brinkhuizen, fifth Benjamin A. Walker, Perry Oosterveer in sixth, seventh Martin Hobson, eighth Milo Speelman. Then we have Frederik Schwartz in 9th, 10th Ricardo Romkema, 11th Winston Eckel. Can we see a result like he does always in these races? Jake Browning in 12th, Fabian Tobin in 13th, 14th Vincent Ossens, Josh Files is in 15th, 16th Yusuke Tune, 17th Michael Fitzpatrick. As we now look onto this, we don't really have more time than this. The grid is forming, 5 fresh lights are on and they're out for the start. Danny Vogel has a good start. Meanwhile, just a little bit further back behind that, it looks like Perry Oosterveer has a good start as well. Niels Langeveld storming through the field, absolutely storming through the field. He had a good start as well. That is it. Oh, does he get touched around? No, he doesn't. Manages to keep it on track, but he again loses some positions there. As we have Vincent Ossems in 15th. He really has to get through this. Oh, as we have a pile up there. What happened there? Up into 12th. He is then already now a position ahead of him maybe as well. Going side by side now. Coming back onto the racing track is Jake Browning defending the inside. That's going to leave him vulnerable on the inside on the cutback. But now on the inside of Vincent is Josh Files. He's going to have to make this work down the inside of this corner. This never works. This never works going side by side through here, boys. But it works this time round. They leave each other enough room. That's amazing racing from the boys. Into the corkscrew now. You don't really want to go side by side through here. Vincent Ossems has a look around the outside. But behind him now is Winston Eckel as well. And that is a battle to look forward to as well. Winston Eckel is he allowed to attack Vincent Ossems here is the question. It doesn't look like it. Well then. We asked him last time out and he said he's not going to answer that. He was going to send it. Are we going to see that send now into the first corner? He is behind him. He is closer behind him, but he does really seem to lift. Josh Files ahead of him now. Vincent Ossam's around the outside then maybe. Getting a good lie there around the outside. Is he going to try and keep it there? Yes, he is. But on his outside is Benjamin A. Walker denying him a run around the outside. It's really unfortunate there for Vincent Ossams. As now Ricardo Wonkema catches Winston Eckel napping there. He gets past him as well. Gus Brinkhausen now is up into first. A good lead for him as well. Pascal Ebena down the inside of Danny Fugel for second position. That is a position gain for him. Niels Langeveld now up into fourth. He is back up into the position where he wanted to be after that start. At least a competitive position again. He's going to try and make this work again. Third now is ahead of him, Fabian Tobben. He has gained a lot of positions as well. Fabian Tobben, what a driver that is. Finished second, of course, in the last race out then, but wow. Already gained 8 positions in the opening 2 laps. Down the inside goes Niels Langeveld on Danny Fugel. As Danny Fugel gets turned around there by... I think that is Fabian Tobben. Oh, that is not what you want to see. Vincent Ossams gets third out cleanly. He really is in a dangerous position now. Up into 7th already. Down the inside of Milo Spilman. He's ahead of him now. Defending the inside for him. Wow, absolutely crazy to see this. And we have some crashes again. Where is my big friend Sven Merckx? He is up into 17th. Under pressure from Andy Kuhn as well. Can he pick up some more positions from drivers ahead of him? He should be able to get past Yusuke Tuna. He looked to have the pace last time out as well, but still Gus Brinkhausen up into first. He is getting caught up by Pascal Ebena, and it does look like that Pascal does have the edge, but he does have to catch up a gap of 2.5 seconds, which isn't easy, of course, to do around here. That is quite a big gap, if I may say so. Well then, Pascal Ebera has a job on his hands. Niels Langeveld is right behind Pascal as well. Can he now hunt down Pascal to maybe get a win in this series as well? It's been a long time since we have had him in the interview room, and we would love to hear from him again and hopefully hear from him from a win again. But it's also Gus Brinkhausen who hasn't performed to spec really yet. And he is a very, very fast driver, pitting in a 1:31.3. That is definitely a competitive lap time. He would have been in the top 6 with that last time out in the heat race. So he really deserves a win as well. So it's really the best driver wins here. But it seems like Niels Langeveld does seem to have the pace here on Pascal Ebena. Catching up very rapidly through that right-hander there. Catching up 4/10s, that is a lot in one corner. Both catching up to Gus Brinkhausen now. We'll go on board for a second with Niels Langeveld. Is he going to try and go around the outside, maybe up the inside? Is this going to work? Is this going to work, Niels Langeveld? Think about your moves. Is it going to work? Yes, it is. He leaves him enough room, but Pascal, not really knowing how wide his car is, goes off the track and he storms off, but able to keep it in a straight line again. Niels Langeveld is up into second. I can't really see what Niels Langeveld did wrong there in that move. Pretty much nothing he did wrong there in that move, but up the inside it is really tight to that there. So props to them for keeping clean. Jake Browning, he touched that curb there, I think, if I saw that correctly. Well then, Jake Browning is currently in third. He gained 9 positions as well. If we look at how many positions everyone has gained, this is one of the biggest gainers. One of the biggest gainers as well is Richard Beukema. He is up into 13th as well for PCS2 or for Card Academy Esports 1. As he has a crash now ahead of him as well, Winston Eckel. We'll look what happened there as well. We'll look on it again here. We'll look a little bit further back, but that is really going to maybe give us some... Oh, he gets spun around, but also gets hit into the right direction again. So generous for him to do that as well. But Richard Beukema now ahead of him. It looked like that was Milos Speelman doing that as well. Because Brinkhausen now not really getting caught by Niels Langeveld. Niels Langeveld has to up his tempo if he wants to do that. And saying that, it looks like he is going to put in a purple lap time this time round. Across the line. No, he doesn't. Jake Browning behind him puts in a purple lap time. 1:30.5. 6/10 quicker than Niels Langeveld. And that was almost a second quicker than this man, cause Brinkhausen. Jake Browning now almost up behind Niels Langeveld. It looked like Jake didn't really have the pace there when Niels Langeveld overtook him, but he is back on his former pace again now as well. Well then. We have, at the moment, Niels Langeveld in second position. And it looks like he is really on form as well. What can we say about that now? I mean, he has had some great races as well the last times here at Laguna Seca out as well. But really getting pressurized now by Jake Browning. He does look to fall back a little bit this time round, Jake Browning, but there's a big if. Niels Langeveld doesn't also really have the pace this time round as well. What is it this time round then? Niels Langeveld, a 30.8, an improvement for him as well. And he gained 6/10 again there on Cos Brinkhausen. Is this going to be a win then for Niels Langeveld? He does seem to have the pace. But we're already almost halfway through this race as well. A little bit behind that, Ricardo Womkema. Oh, he crashes. We'll look on what happened to him as well there. It looked like he crashed with Perry Osever there. Oh, that is a naughty move. Also pushing through him. Perry Osever there. Those are some really naughty tactics from Perry Osever. It's a good position to maybe Milos Speelman as well here. No, that is not the case. We move back to live pictures again here. Vincent Osshams into 6th position. Fabian Tobin just ahead of him in 5th. In 4th, it's Frederick Schwartz ahead of him. Again, in the same position as he was last time round, it looks like. Because Brinkhausen getting caught by Niels Langeveld. Those two are now really close behind. It looks like because Brinkhausen has upped his tempo a bit this time round. Niels Langeveld did not catch by as much as he did last time round. 31-0 by Cos. And a... what was it this time around? A 31-0 as well by Niels Langeveld. If everything, it looks like Cos was faster this time round as well. Cos maybe has saved his tires for the later stages in these races. Fabian Tobin now with Vincent Osshams and Frederick Schwartz as well. This is the battle for 4th. As we can see on the bottom right hand side here, Vincent Osshams has gained some positions as well here. As it looks like have a purple lap time currently in the hands of, it looks like that is Niels Langeveld, doesn't it? No, it doesn't. Jake Browning. Jake Browning got past Niels Langeveld. We missed that. Where did that happen? It looks like that happened quite some time back again. No matter what, Niels Langeveld is not going to get that maiden win that he wanted. But he's now going to try and stick behind Jake Browning. He can't do much more than this. But Cas Brinkhuizen is currently, Josh Files has a purple lap and went 30.40 out last time around. We're going to give you a lap around the circuit with Jake or with Cas Brinkhuizen next lap around. But before we do that, we have Fabian Tobin just ahead of Vincent Asselsen, just behind Frederick Schwartz. He's going to try and do it up the inside then maybe here. Not really happening. Oh, that is a little bit of a mistake there by Fabian Tobin. If it's going to try something up into the corkscrew, he looks to the outside. A very late move. He's going to defend the inside. That's going to make him vulnerable on the exit, I think. Yes, it is, but Vincent really thinks about a bigger game here. His championship rival, Martin Hobson, is already behind him, so again, gaining points on him. He has to think about the bigger picture. This has really been a very good race for Vincent here. A very great evening championship-wise for him. But it looks like they are gaining. Cas Brinkhuizen will give you a lap around the circuit with him. Well, that is that then for a lap around the circuit. What a lap it was. And you can really see how steep the corkscrew was at that lap. Well then, some changes in the order. Then Winston Echo has jumped his way up into 10. Now back on the back of Perry Oosterveer here. Defending from Milo Speelman behind him. Milo Speelman has let him pass, it looked like. They are now charging through the field again together. Perry Oosterveer ahead of Winston. Looks to have the pace this time round then. In 9th position, still lost some positions. But our championship leader, Vincent Asselsen, is currently in 6th. We look now on to the next lap. Only 3 minutes to go in this race. Let's go. Well then, at the moment it looks like Vincent Ossems is very happy with the position he is in at the moment. Fabian Tobin able to overtake Mr. Schwartz there. But we have, I think, 2 more laps to go if Cas Brinkhuizen comes across the line this time round. It's gonna be close again though. Cas Brinkhuizen not really having the pace his competitors had last lap around. Well then, it looks to be, yes, we are gonna have another lap it looks like, or he's gonna have to drop off massively, or something has to happen. Well then, Jake Browning is just behind him again. Only 8 tenths in it for that duo. Niels Langeveld is 1.5 seconds behind those two, but really comfortable in P3 as well. Fabian Tobin now chasing down him, but he doesn't really have enough time left to do so. I think Cas Brinkhuizen can pick up a very good victory here. That left-hander has cost him some time though. 6 tenths the gap is down to now. Into the corkscrew they go. And catching up here is Jake Browning. But Niels Langeveld stays the same to Jake Browning. Jake Browning. It is going to be close with that last lap though. But it looks like we are going to get there in the span of like 5 seconds left. Here we go then. Is this going to be the last lap? It doesn't look like it. We have 1 more lap. It is going to be close. Around the outside, yes, we are going to have 1 more lap. Yes, we are. White flag. Jake Browning looking around the outside of Cas Brinkhuizen. This is going to be amazing. This last lap, this is going to tell everything about this last lap. This is going to tell everything about the race. Jake Browning 2 tenths behind after chasing down for a whole race. After chasing down for a whole race, he is now behind Cas Brinkhuizen, and he can make this a very good race. He has gained 10 positions already. Can he gain that last valuable position to get up into first position? It is really close. They are going to encounter some traffic, it looks like, on this last lap in the form of, I think that is, let me have a look real quick. That is going to be Nick Harrison's, it looks like. Oh, around the outside for the corkscrew then. No, that is never going to work. But getting the run now. Up the inside maybe here. Cas is defending for his life. Jake Browning has to maybe think about the bigger picture as well. That is very close behind him as well now. Oh, around the outside. To the finish line they go. Side by side. Who's going to get there first? Is it going to be Cas Brinkhuizen? And it is going to be Cas Brinkhuizen. So close behind that. It is Niels Langeveld. Fabian Tobin is going to come through behind that as well. Vincent Ossems comes through in 5th. Pascal Ebena in 6th, 7th. Winston Eckel, he made a good race of that as well. Perry Oosterveer comes through in 8th. 9th is Josh Files, together with Benjamin A. Walker. Very, very close between those two as well. Fredrik Schwartz is 12th. Milo Spielman 13, 14. Danny Fugel. But yeah, what a race that was. What action we have seen here. Wow, 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 wow. Amazing to see. Absolutely amazing to see. Yes, Ruin, we can, but it's a little bit too busy for me to do that right now, because I have to do a lot as well already. Well then, we can look at the result in just a little bit time. We have some drivers out on track still. As we have Pepe Kerstens now picking up that last point paying spot again. Is that the race then? Yes, it looks like that is the race. We can show you the results after this one then. Well then, having had the results, we can look now on to the standings. And the standings are the results are as follows. Gus Brinkhuizen coming through, taking that victory just ahead of Jake Browning. 1.5 tenths in that. That is really, really, really close. Gus Brinkhuizen winning that. 1.5 seconds behind that is Niels Langeveld. 4th is Fabian Tobin. 5th, Vincent Ossems doing a good job for the championship this evening out. Pascal Eben is 6th. 7th is Winston Eckel. A good result for him out as well. Perry Oosterveer with a good result as well. In 8th, Benjamin A. Walker, a good result as well. Again, Milo Spielman in 10th. He had pace for more, but he was just unlucky on some occasions. Danny Fugel in 11th. 12th is Andy Kuhn. 13th, Michael Fitzpatrick. 14th, Josh Files. And then in 15th we have Jake Smedley. 16th, Martin Hobson. 17th, Fredrik Schwartz. And 18th, Juuso K. Tunen. Then the last people on the grid. Sven Merckx again in 18th, picking up points for PA Racing. Pepe Kerstens in 20th, also picking up points for Team Kerstens. Monis Heisler just outside the points again, not finishing. Ricardo Romkema in 22nd. 23rd, Niels Kosters. And 24th, Richard Beukema. 25th is Nick Kerstens. And 26th is Steve Fudders. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what a race we have had. And what a race it has been. We look now on to the interviews. And it looks like we have a man here again, and it's Mr. Aiden Walker. Benjamin is how we know him in the stream. Welcome. You had some good results out there today. Again, picking up points in both races for your team. Tell us about how your evening went.
It was kind of actually a quiet one. It was some moments we was the only moment I really had was with the 94 into the hairpin. We kind of had a little contact in the heat, which that was just something that it was fine.
Yeah.
We both kept our position, so then I'm honestly surprised I actually got P9. I mean, I got P10 because apparently someone got disqualified ahead of me from incident points, which, yeah, that was a big problem with how corkscrew is on incident points. It's like the track limits, just go a little further off that curb, it's just an incident point. So
Yeah.
it's mostly just about keep yourself within the incident point limit.
Yeah.
So
Well, Aiden, you had two good results out of today again. Yeah, hoping you could do the same next time out as well. Thank you for the interview, and I'll let you go on with the things you were doing.
thank you.
Well then, that was Aiden. We have another one in here as well. A man who, yeah, finished 16th in this last race out. It's Michael Fitzpatrick. He is he finished 16th this time out, gained one position on his starting position. And yeah, he is in the interview room now as well. Welcome, Michael.
Hello.
Yeah, well, you had a good result out there today again in the feature race, finishing 16th, one position ahead of your starting position. Tell us about it.
The first race was pretty decent, just trying to keep it out of trouble, to be honest, and get through some of the carnage. But for the second race was, I think I came 13th, was a good result compared to how we were starting off the beginning of the season. I got used to the car a bit more over the season, and I've been enjoying it a lot.
Yeah. Well, talking about learning the car, what were the points you had the most trouble with learning on these TCR cars?
I think the aspect of it being a front wheel drive car versus something like I usually drive in GT3s or the LMP2 is something a lot different to be able to manage. It's more you have to balance. It's different on the brakes with the front wheel drive.
Yeah. Well, and you've been in the midfield for quite some time this season, so yeah, racing in these TCRs, you can take a hit, so it's really close racing all over the field. You had some really close racing again today. Yeah, finishing 16th. Is that for you? Are you happy with that?
Yeah, 16th was really good, and then 13th as well. And I know me and Aiden trying to push towards we're fighting for I don't know who it is in the championship, but they're not too far up the road. So we're just going to try and push in some points and try and catch them before the end of the season.
Yeah, Michael, I hope you have some good results out there next evening or next week as well. Thank you for the interview, buddy, and it's been amazing to speak to you again.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Well then, we have another one in here as well. Fabian Tobin, a man who I mistakenly called second in the championship, but with his driving standards, it could well just be that he is second in the championship. Fabian, welcome.
Thank you.
Fabian, I
great night.
mistakenly, yeah, I mistakenly said you were second in the championship, but
Well,
yeah,
it could have been.
yeah.
I had
With
a
the
great
driving
race
standings
tonight.
again, yes, you were great out there on this track. I have to ask you a question though. Was the Hyundai really the car to be in on this track? Because it looks like the Hyundais were on top on this track.
Yeah, I think so. Like the bumps are really easy to take compared to the other cars. However, you still lack something in straight line speed, so it's harder to overtake, but just lap time, it's faster.
Okay, yeah. Well, Fabian, you had some great results, finishing I think second or third. That was behind.
Yeah, third in the first race
yes.
and fourth in the second.
Yeah, those are some two really good results. Yeah, gaining 9 positions in the feature is of course with that reverse grid. Tell us about the chaos you had to go through in the first laps.
Well, I had an okay start. Of course, starting for P13, it's always going to be hard. But I saw just a little space opening up, and I just sent it in and made it through the carnage. Think a bit of luck as well. Then at the end of lap 1, I was already P6, so looking
Yeah.
really good.
Fabian, you had some great moves as well out there today, sticking behind. I think Vincent it was in the first race, not really getting past? Was it difficult, like you said, to overtake, or did Vincent just have enough pace to keep you behind?
Yeah, both really. I had maybe one or two opportunities where that I missed out on that I could have yeah dived it down the inside maybe, but he was just really fast and consistent and was hard to keep up with him. So yeah, definitely his pace.
Yeah. Well, Fabian, it's been amazing to watch you drive this evening. You've done great. Congrats on the podium in the first race, and sadly missing out on it just in the second one. But thank you for the interview, and hope to see you in the interview room again next time out.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Have a great night.
Well then, we'll move swiftly on to Mr. Jake Smedley. He finished 17th in the feature race, gaining one position as well on his starting position. Welcome, Jake.
Hi, thanks for having me again.
Yeah, Jake. You had a great result out there in the second race today as well. Yeah, tell us about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just absolutely amazed at the top 15. I talked to you last time about me hoping to finish top 15 last time, but
Yeah.
I missed last race due to me being ill, but I'm back again, and to be P15 is just incredible. You know, starting off the season dead last and getting used to the front wheel drive car, it's just absolutely amazing to finish P15.
Yeah, I asked, I think it was Fabian as well, but getting used to these cars, what was for you the biggest thing you had to adapt to or adjust your driving style to? Because being this a front wheel driven car, it drives very much different, like you said, than all the other cars.
Yeah, well, the main thing I had to get used to was my braking zones because I tend to, obviously in a rear wheel drive car, you can brake quite late, but these ones you have to be on the brakes and know the tracks. So I think learning the braking points and managing that understeer a bit there's probably the trickiest bit for me to learn.
Yeah. And then another question in chat we have, the brake balance. What do you do with that? Do you, because the brake balance is something you can adjust with these stock setups that we have to run in this series. But do you tend to put it a little bit more forwards or rearwards to get that rotation in the car?
Well, that was what we were doing today. We were testing it out in the first race just to see, and we run a 57, and that was okay. So we move it a bit towards the middle because front wheel drive cars, if you slam the front down when you slam on the brakes effectively, then you're just going to create massive understeer for you to turn to the next corner, and they don't really turn properly. So that's why we tried a 57 today, and it worked perfectly in our favor.
Well, Jake, amazing to see you pushing towards that top 10 maybe at the end of the season. I dearly hope to see you finish in the top 10 at least once this season.
Thank you.
And yeah, thank you for the interview again, and maybe it happens next time out.
Yeah, hopefully. Thank you.
Well then, we move on to our second to last interview, and that will be a man that we all really, really know from, I think, top to bottom. Winston, welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I
Winston,
know. Where do you know me from? But I don't know.
where do we know you from? From
Bad
defending
qualifying
well.
sessions?
Yeah,
Oh.
from bad qualifying sessions, defending well, and from bad qualifying sessions, getting back in the race again. Because you had to get back to the field, I think, a couple of times. We saw an incident with, I think, Milo Speelman it was, that punted you around there. But yeah,
Yeah, the question is, when did I didn't have an accident? The second race. The first race was, well, compromised in the first 10 meters because I had quite a good start, and I dived to the pit wall side, trying to get side by side with Milo, and then yeah, I do not think he thought that I was going there. So he closed the line a little bit, but then there's not any room left, so I made him a full wheel jump on the first 10 meters, and I got some heavy damage on the right hand side. And even my crew chief was saying you got some wheel damage, so I expected a meatball. But still, the pace in the car was quite okay. I had some damage on the right hand side, I can feel that. But yeah, but of course, still it was a good race, a solid recovery, I should say. But then in the second race, yeah, I had all the bad luck that I could happen. Made some mistakes. I punted Romkoma off. I punted Beukema off. Yeah, especially the incident with Beukema in the last corner. I braked too late and yeah, I braked around the 1.5 instead of the 2, and then yeah, I hit him in the back and I couldn't turn out anymore. So that's unfortunate. But yeah, that happens when you have yeah a less good race. Then of course everything is going to be bad. So
Yeah.
that happens sometimes.
Yeah, Winston. Uh, I asked some other drivers this as well, but now being 4 races into the season, the TCR car is not a car that most people drive in normal iRacing sessions. So what is
True.
for you the most thing or the biggest thing you had to get used to or adapt to in these TCR cars?
I guess people have said front wheel drive. The feeling of the
No,
front wheel drive car. No, okay.
people have
Then
said braking.
yeah, people said braking. I'm not so sure about that one. Of course, it's different because the most of the brake balance is to the front of the car. Because yeah, of course you got the front wheel drive. The most power is going to the front tires. So especially also for all braking, it's the most important factor, especially with the engine being in the front of the car. But the reason why the TCR car is different to other cars is for me just the front wheel drive. The When you're driving side by side or on the outside or something, and the car on the inside doesn't leave any room on the exit, and just put the throttle down, then the car is going to straight line out a little bit. And the amount of straight lining on the exit, that makes the difference on another GT car, like a GT3 or the GT4, because then the rotation on the exit comes around the back wheels, or around, like if it's four-wheel drive or something, then it's it's very different because now the car understeers a lot more on the exit compared to another GT3 car. I guess that's the biggest difference. But still, in the Audi that I driven earlier, that was very noticeable. But in the Honda and in the Hyundai, that's less a problem, the understeer on exit. So that's the reason why it's good racing. And of course, it's side by side. It's a touring car, so it can handle some small punts here and there and some contact, like we
Remember to breathe.
like we see in the race. Of course, people get accidents, and when you get such kind of accidents in a Formula 3 car, yeah, then it's over. Then the race is gone.
Yeah.
But now with the TCR, yeah, of course, people can have some small damage on top speed, but it's not like race ending 100%. So that makes a difference, especially on those short tracks. So
Yeah. Well, Winston, you had some or a lot of bad luck out there today. I hope for you that it was all the bad luck you're gonna get this season, and that you have better luck next week.
yes, mate, I really hope so. Next week, Okoyama, right?
Yes,
Yes, let's go.
we're gonna go to
Looking
Japan.
forward to Japan. Let's go, mate.
Well, Winston, thank you for the interview, buddy, and konnichiwa.
Yeah.
I hope to see you next week.
Konnichiwa. See you next week, mate. Cheers.
Well then, we move on to our last interview of this evening, and with a man that will be very happy with how this evening went with his championship rival having issues with this track and himself performing very well in both the feature and the heat race. It's Vincent.
Yes, hi. Good evening.
Vincent, welcome. You had a good race in the heat race, not really able to stick with P1 there, but able to keep second ahead there. And in the second race, the feature race, you finished fifth. And in both races, your championship rival Martin Hobson finished in 11th and 10th position. So yeah, a good night for the championship.
Yeah, for the championship, it was a really good night, but yeah, the racing was not great. Um, Especially in the feature race, all the positions I gained, I think I gained them by people crashing out, so it's not what you want to see. But yeah, it was for the championship. It's really good, and I'm happy with that. But the way the races were going tonight, it wasn't great. But yeah,
Okay.
it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, Vincent. I think you still can be very happy with the results you've had today. Yeah, tell us about, because I asked Vincent this as well, but it seems like you have adapted the best to these cars since you're in first position in the championship. But what is the biggest thing you had to adapt to or adjust to in these TCR cars?
Probably going on throttle and the braking, because when you brake, the rear is very loose. But you need to use that to rotate the car. That's something I needed to get used to, and going on throttle, especially in the very slow corners. When you go on throttle, you just have wheel spin um, for a very long time, and you need to avoid that, because otherwise you lose a lot on, especially after corners with a long straight.
Yeah. Well, Vincent, after this amazing evening for the championship and some amazing driving from you again, like we see always, I thank you for the interview, and I hope you have a great race out at Okoyama next week.
Yes, thank you. Have a great evening.
Well then, that is everything from the drivers, and yeah, I mean, sad we couldn't speak to Cos and to Niels, but they weren't in for an interview, it looks like. But hey, these things, we if they don't want it, of course they are not. They don't have to do it. But yeah, it's sad that we couldn't talk to them and know how Cos's race was. But yeah, that is everything for the TCR series. Again, I hope you guys have enjoyed it just as much as I did. Next week, Okoyama, we go to Japan, a very great track that as well. A track you can overtake on as well. I mean, this track it's a cool track, Laguna Seca, but it's not really a track where you have a lot of overtaking opportunities. But having said that, it has been an amazing evening, amazing racing we've seen so far this season. I hope that continues next week. But until then, we thank you for watching, and we hope you are here next week with us again. And until then, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys then.